Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Susan Weiss from the GC Marketing team at Xerox, and I would like to welcome you to our Best Practices webinar series. Today we're going to be focusing on Omni-Channel marketing. To tell you a little bit about the series, this is a new program that we're starting beginning this month, and you're attending the very first one, but it will be continuing through 2019. During this series, you'll be hearing success stories and lessons learned from our Premier partners, GC, and implant customers. They have a wealth of information, and we have heard from our customers and our people who are thinking about doing more with digital printing how important it is to hear from those who are already undertaking that journey and to really learn what they can do to be successful, hear best practices, and see how it could be applied to their organization. But it's really about how our customers are doing a fantastic job transforming their business, utilizing results-generating applications. So that's where we're going to be focusing during this series. Just a couple of housekeeping items. We're using a new platform. For those of you who have attended our business development webinar series in the past, you may notice a difference. But we will be accepting questions, and you can enter those via chat. And there should be a little question icon to the left side of the window for the slides. So just go ahead and input any questions that you may have for our speakers or about the topic, and we'll be sure to address those. If by chance we run out of time, we can also, since we have your questions, we'll be able to get back to you after. We do have two guest speakers joining us today, Jeroen van Druen and Ayelet Szabo-Melamed. Jeroen is the president and CEO of Jubels in the Netherlands, and Ayelet is the VP of Marketing for XMPie. And we're really thrilled to have them join us today. I mentioned our topic is all about omni-channel marketing, and these are two experts in implementing those kinds of solutions. And we've seen studies from Keypoint Intelligence and others, who've really demonstrated that when multiple channels are used for a campaign, the results are absolutely amazing. When you communicate with consistent and relevant messaging using multiple channels, the sky's the limit for you and your clients. So this really is an opportunity for you to hear how Jeroen and with the help of XMPie have been very successful in implementing these kinds of solutions. But before a little bit of setup more about omni-channel marketing and what that really means, let me turn things over to Ayelet. Ayelet, take it away.
Thanks, Susan, and thanks everybody for joining. And I'm really thrilled to be doing this first webinar series with Jeroen from Jubels, because really Jubels is a breakthrough customer, and you'll see the type of things that he does, and it's really amazing how he takes omni-channel and uses this to the best result for his customers. I just want to frame the discussion a bit before we talk to Jeroen, and we don't have to tell you, I think you know it yourself, that we are in some sort of a digital disruption right now. Digital devices, mobile devices are driving change in the way we communicate with our customers. They change the way consumers are changing. Our habits are changing, and we know that because we're consumers ourselves. So as consumers, we see that we use the mobile more and that we want a consistent experience, whether we're on a mobile phone or on our laptop or on a tablet. We just want everything to flow seamlessly from one touch point to the next. So we know that this is true as consumers and as vendors, and we know that enterprises and brands really must adapt, and it's up to us to serve those enterprises and brands. So I always say that the trend is unavoidable. We know that this trend is happening in the marketplace. We see it around us. And every one of us as a service provider, as vendors and as service providers, are responsible to decide how we respond to this. So how do we adjust? How do we adapt? What more of our offering, what more offerings do we bring our customers? So before we talk to Jeroen about it, I want to tell you from my point of view what I see when I talk to customers and when I see customers that really embrace multi-channel, customers that really transform their business and add more capabilities to their business. the first thing I see is the use of innovation. We see customers that start thinking of the same delivery touch point as different things. If once you think about an invoice, once you start thinking about multi-channel, that invoice can be a bouncing board or a stepping stone into a discussion with a customer to give it more coupons, more offers. It can become really dynamic. Things become innovative. Then the next thing that we see is that the experience, you start talking to your customers really about experience. It's not no longer are you talking to your customers about quoting, let's say I can do this print touch point for you, I can do this email for you. You're really talking to them in different terms. You're talking about, well, what kind of experience can I offer your customers? It's a completely change of mindset, which brings value both to your customer in his relationship with his customers, but also to you as an organization. And the third thing that we always see, and we'll talk to Jeroen about it when he shares his business successes, is the relationship. The relationship that you have with your customer changes. It becomes an ongoing relationship. It's no longer a phone call. Can you quote me 500 brochures? It's an ongoing, okay, so we're doing this program and then we'll do that program. You build a different relationship with your customers, and of course that benefits your business. So this is really just high-level views of our view as XMPie, and when we see multi-channel. I'll let Jeroen introduce his organization, talk about Jubels, and then we'll have some sort of a discussion about how this really works and what are the best practices. Jeroen, go ahead.
Well, thank you, Ayelet, and good morning, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jeroen van Drunen from Jubels in Amsterdam. This is on your screen. This is our company, our office in the north of Amsterdam, specially built for us. It's a nice building, of course, but what it also is to us that it's an open environment, and in these days with communication as we do it, you need an open environment. Customers can walk in and customers can see everything we do and collaborate in a much nicer way than it used to be in the old days. Some background about Jubels. We create graphical and interactive communication with impact, from high quality printing work to what we are talking about right now, to effective database driven multi-channel campaigns. That's what we do with XMPie software. Jubels is a family run business. It's a relatively small company with 30 people working there. We print in offset and digital, large format inkjet with digital contour cutters from Zund. We have afterpress, of course, and a warehouse and fulfillment, and a specialty bindery for special photo books. And the last bullet is the marketing service and consultancy, which was what we are talking about right now. The next thing is that we're also a premier partner, and myself and I are also a member of the the Xerox Premier Partner Advisory Board, and I'm also the president of the XUG user group, a group with more than 8,500 companies worldwide, also companies who are who bought the software from XMPie, and a strong group where I think every user should be a member of. We offer, like I said before, digital and offset printing, specialty photo books, and not the normal photo books for like you can buy from CW or Albelly here in the Netherlands, but this is for professional photographers on specialty papers, specialty binding, very nice sizes, specialty different ways of binding books, etc. That's where our history comes from. We also offer web-to-print portals, business to business, based on XMPie uStore solutions. The XXL inkjet, we have a large flatbed system, and then cross-media. And the last one is instant celebration. I want to talk to you about that a little bit further away. We'll come to that in a minute. The next page, just to show you what we are aiming for. We want it to be very special. We want to give our customers excellent printing. So it's not ordinary just printing some business cards or whatever. It always needs to stand out. It needs to be different. That's why we use high quality offset presses and an iGen 5 to print all our materials. Book binding, it needs to be done in a special way with a thread or lay flat. Ink or toner needs to stand out of the paper, and that's what we really do. And of course, the web-to-print solutions, it makes the life of our customers more easy. We're not offering it to consumers. We're only offering it to large corporates, and this is a way to keep your customers inside of your house. And if you want to stand out, you can stand out like all these printed doors with some people who changed the world, like Mandela and Steve Jobs and Andy Warhol and one of the most famous Dutch soccer players, Johan Cruyff. That's really, it needs to stand out. We help you to impress. And if you want higher response rates and you want to communicate with your customers, then we can also help you. And that's what we do based on XMPie one-to-one communication software. And besides that, and now I want to talk a little bit about Jubels and products and services. It's about instant celebration. We have invested the last 6-7 months in a company called Instant Celebration. It's a subsidiary of Jubels, and where we make self-adhesive sticker frames for Instax/Polaroids photos. And we want to offer this to the consumer market. We're almost ready for the Netherlands, not only for the Netherlands, but we're also selling it in the UK, in France, in Belgium, and in Germany. But we're ready for the next step, meaning that we are looking for print service providers in other continents like Asia, Asia Pacific. The next slide, I'll show you what I need. We need service providers with iGens and iGen 5s with die-cut facilities and machines and mailing and fulfillment capabilities. Regions we need: Asia, Japan and Hong Kong, Australia, Mexico, Brazil, South Africa, US, Canada, and more to come. And if you are interested, and it can be a real nice opportunity, bringing you lots of jobs and lots of clicks, please send your company information to me, to my email address. It's jeroen@jubels.nl, but it will be in the slide deck, which you will receive afterwards. So back to business. This is how it looks when you have such a frame. So you take a picture with your Polaroid or your Instax camera, and you glue the self-adhesive frame around it, and it's a real nice add-on for a wedding party, birthdays, and so on. Multi-channel campaigns and one-to-one marketing. That's what we are supposed to talk about. And I want to show you two cases we did recently for two customers. We're doing more, but these really stands out. And one of them is called Moose. And this is what we did for Moose. Moose is a Dutch print service provider working only online. So you can order your business cards, your envelopes, all your collateral in this shop. And they want to have more customers, but based on designers, photographers, people who are into more professional business than other people. So we bought for them a database of 7,500 addresses, and we split them into 3 different mail pieces. We sent it by mail, and due to the new Dutch, or not the Dutch, but the European laws about GDPR, we have to start this communication with direct mail. You can't send email, electronic mail to customers anymore without having a relationship with those guys. But you're still allowed to send mail pieces, and that's where print comes in again. And in my opinion, it has never been away, but nowadays it's very nice that government gave us this opportunity to send more email, to send more direct mail pieces. So we split the 7,500 pieces into 3 just to test it a little bit, and where the offer which they got is free business cards just to enter the Moose online system. So on this personalized direct mail piece, there was a link to the moose.nl site. And when you enter that, then you see on the right side, you see Dear Mr. Van Drunen and try Moose. Well, it's in Dutch, but you get the message. And we only show what we know about you. That's your first and last name. We didn't know their email addresses and what they need to do, and that was on the direct mail piece as well. There was a PIN code which they have to enter, and then it will automatically go to moose.nl, where the customer don't need to enter his details again. So we made a connection from mymoose.nl to moose.nl to make the experience for the customer as smooth as it can be. And it gave a very high response to that. This is the way it looks. You can see it in Circle. That's a nice piece of software from XMPie to collaborate with your customer, to show them how a campaign can look like. And you see what they did. 10% of the 7,500 people already activated their free cards. And what it also did is that this campaign has now been done for the 3rd time. So every time we take a different group, but it's still a success. And the end customer, which is by the way, the largest printer in the Netherlands, with over 1 billion turnover every year, and he comes to us just for these campaigns. More than 10% is really a really great success, I guess.
Jeroen, let me jump in and ask you, before you continue with your story, I'm curious to know why you think, what made this campaign a success? What was it about the campaign that made it a success?
Well, 2 things I'll add, I guess. Of course, it's the free business cards. It's always nice to get a present. But on the other hand, I know, and we've seen that when we analyze the results, that people really love the way they did not have to enter their details again. So it was a very smooth way to get them to trigger them to go to the website of moose.nl, and when they are there, then they see what Moose has to offer, the pricing, and the way you need to order. Then it really makes a great experience. So it's not only the free business cards, but it's also the smooth experience, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree, definitely. The beautiful design and the amazing customer experience. That's it's a great campaign.
Correct. Yeah, correct. The next one is, I'll turn the slide over, is for a Dutch company called Knijf, and it's not only Knijf, but it's also Onel trademarks. Knijf and Onel are trademark attorneys, so lawyers who can help you save your brand. Your brand, as a brand owner, you need to protect your logos, your brand, etc., etc. And if everything goes well in this business, then you only get one invoice per year saying that they did protect your brand and they did not see any problems, etc., etc. But Knijf and Onel can offer their customers so much more. So they wanted to interact with their customers on a different way. So they asked us to help them with a customer communication project, and I'm calling it an automated marketing machine. And the good part of it, and you see it in the bullet in the left corner, each campaign, or the same campaign, starts every 2 weeks, and every campaign exists of more than 7 touch points. So meaning from starting with a direct mail piece to emails, again with direct mails, and a call at the end. So it's a really great tool to interact with your customers on a higher level, and to make the customers of Knijf aware of all the things Knijf can offer. And the way it looks here is a little bit different on the screen. As you can see, it's got many touch points. The way we produced it, the way we made it, we started this the work for this campaign last November, and we ended in and due to several things, not only on our side but also on the side of the customer, at the end of March. So it took us 4 months to build this. You see it as on this screen, it's got 5 different touch points, and it's called FUP 1 to 5. FUP meaning follow-up project 1, 2, 3, etc., etc. Starting, as most things, still in print, and I can show you that on the next slide. The way it looks, it's a piece printed on. It's all personalized, of course. On the right side, you see the box where the folder, which is a 7-piece folder, which is folded into 7 pages, 14 pages on the back side, of course, and it's rolled it into an envelope. It's all being personalized with XMPie software, and depending on the customer starting point, Knijf or Onel, then the the piece was a little bit different. The next one is number 2, of course. Again, 3 different messages, one in Dutch, one in English, and one for Onel. The next one is an A/B testing, and the thing itself is done in English and in Dutch, and it's an offer to go to a URL, a personalized URL, I need to say, where the customer can order a personalized PDF from a booklet called the Merkengids. It's a Dutch guide for brand protection. But as you can see, we do an A/B testing, and A/B testing means that in some cases we send it out as a printed piece, and in some cases we send it out as an email. And we're still figuring out what the best way still is, but as it looks, the printed piece gives a better response. I'll come back to the responses a little bit later. So that's what we also do, what we also offer. FOB 4 is an email. FOB number 5 as well, and then number 6 is a phone call, and a phone call from a brand lawyer asking if he needs to do something for this customer. And here on the left side you can see the personalized URL, and where you only need to say, yes, that's what I want, it's free, and we'll send it to you by email. It's personalized, etc., etc. But what it really did, a very happy customer. Everything is automated. So every 2 weeks I get a database with new customers, and it's not a lot. It's only 40 to 60, 70 new records in the database, but every 2 weeks. We have a contract to do this every 2 weeks for the next 2 years. The marketing department handed this tool to office management, so they don't need to do anything anymore, just a little bit of control and analysis. So it's a really nice tool to communicate with customers, and they are very, very happy, as I can say, and they are already asking me to do a different campaign for something else. So I'm really, really happy with this. And as you can see, it's not the large numbers, but what it did is an ongoing conversation with your customer, Knijf, and an ongoing conversation with the customers of Knijf and Onel. So we were paid by making this campaign, of course. We are being paid for the print work, and what I did was a different way of being paid. I'm saying this because otherwise it's going to be a question, I guess. I'm getting paid for the campaign, for the copy, for the design, and for all the automation work which was done with XMPie software. But then when the customer gives me the new databases every 2 weeks, then I'm getting paid by the record. So this is a real nice way to keep costs very low. But on the other hand, customer knows that if he has a new customer, this is what it's going to cost him to enter to give him access to the marketing portal. So that's what it has been doing for us, Ayelet, and all the people who are listening. This is a new way of.
I love that you call it. I love that you call it an automated marketing machine. That you got it down to a machine working for you, and I love the name. But of course, you know. Mm-hmm.
you know that you need to do the work before, and then afterwards you're finished, and you only have to produce the regular printed pieces. The emails and so on are done automatically. The print files are done also automatically. We put them into the system, and with the connection to FreeFlow Core, it will automatically run your iGen. So that's a really nice add-on for a production company like Jubels.
Jeroen,
Yes,
Susan, I had a question. Oh, sorry, Jeroen, I was just going to ask if you could spend a minute or so just sharing a little bit about the process that you and your team go through to either prospect for these kinds of opportunities. You know, are you using an outside sales force? Are you offering new things to existing clients? How do these wonderful, you know, multi-channel opportunities come to be?
That's a good question, Susan, and of course Eilert as well. We have been around with, or we have been playing, working with XMPie software for the last 12 years, I guess, since 2006. And you need to become a different company. We're not a print service provider anymore. People know us of what we are doing right now. We also spend much time working with like a company called PODI to make some case studies about these multi-channel campaigns, just to show our customers and my prospects on what we have been doing in the past and how we can help them in communicate with their customers. So it's not waiting on your chair that the customers can come in. You need to go out and to stand out and to show your successes and your losses, of course, to prospects and to customers. And that's what we have been doing. Regarding Salesforce, that's a little bit different. I am the Salesforce, and I don't know if I'm good, but that's always difficult to say for yourself. But we have changed Jubels into what we are now, and we never want to go back anymore. We don't want to produce mass offset printing. We want to make communication work for you and for your customers and for the end customers. It needs to stand out. It needs to be profitable for everybody, and that's what we're aiming for.
Thanks.
Jeroen, I also want to ask you, since this is not a one-time, but you have some sort of a program going here. How did you sit down and plan it with the customer? Did the customer understand, or was it a joint understanding process that you're going together into this program, into this time frame where things will happen planning-wise and then repetitively?
Well, we hired, and as I said before, we're not a very big company, but we hired the right professionals on the right time. So the customer came to me and said, well, we want to communicate more with our customers. Can you help us out with that? So I hired a good friend of mine, and he's a concept copywriter. So he made the concept for this. And it's not about the automation tool, which is done with XMPie, but the concept itself, the way it looks, is done by him. So it's a joint effort to get these guys on the same table. And if you want to sell this to a customer, you need to work as a team to get the professionals you need to get the job done. I can't do anything, everything by myself, so I need different people, like a concept writer or a copywriter or a designer to do the things they are good in, and we can do the technique, but concepting and designing is done by other professionals, to say it. So it's about getting your team ready, like you hire a photographer, like you hire a designer, etc., etc. And what helps is a good relation with the customer, like Knife. That helps really. And what also helps is the way Circle looks these days, to show the customer the experience which you can offer him. So that's a really nice add-on to show customers the way it can work.
Interesting. Instead of writing it on the back of a napkin.
Indeed. Well, that's also a possibility, of course.
So what are your future plans? Where are you going with this customer or with other customers? Are you going to repeat this program, kinds of marketing programs?
So this is a copycat campaign. You're absolutely right. I'm doing this in batches, and I'm going to do this for the next 2 years. But you can't live on one customer, of course. So we're using this campaign and other campaigns we did in the past to show other customers the same experience. And we're working on the next one right now, and maybe the next webinar, customer stories, best practices, can be the next campaign. I don't know. I will tell you later.
I'm sure going to ask. You know me. Well,
I know.
Susan, if it's okay, yeah, I'll take this to. I'll wrap. There's a few other slides that I want to show from XMPie, and then maybe we can come back with questions if there are more questions behind the scenes. So
yep, there are. That would be great.
Okay, so we'll just go through these 3 more slides and then take questions. So we talked about all of this, but just to show it visually, what do we mean when we say one-to-one multi-channel campaigns? It's really important, and we saw it from Jeroen's stories, that the integration of print and digital media is done in a way that's relevant to your customers. So it's something that they're expecting. It's something that gives them value, but also the consistency. The consistency is key, because in today's communications, if things are not consistent to the customer, they're annoying. You're annoying your customer. You're not living up to their expectations when you've asked a question that you have to go and ask again. When you give them some details that they have to retype, the experiences have to be smooth, like Jeroen said, and we see that all the time. And I want to make the point that maybe there are people on the call listening that are really thinking that this is a lot to do and it's a lot of effort to transform their business. I'm not saying it's not, but I just want you to realize that really, even if we only have a couple of touch points, so if we have a catalog or a postcard that's leading to some online website for more information, that's already a journey for the customer. That's already multi-channel. That's already cross-media. That already means that it has to be consistent. It has to be relevant. You have to use the data in real time. So you can start very small, but there are some key things about the experience that even if you're doing something very small, in my mind, are very important, because that's what differentiates successful campaigns from not successful. We saw that with Jeroen's Moose experience example. Really not a lot in terms of touch points and what the customer journey was like, but it was very nice, clean, professionally done, consistent, relevant to the customers, and very, very successful. And really, the last thing I want to tell you is that learn to tell the story to your customer. Like Jeroen said, circle helps because you can paint a picture. You can show exactly what their customers are going to see in terms of an experience. This visualization is very important for your customers to understand exactly what you're going to be offering them, instead of just hand waving and saying, yes, well, your customers are going to go through an experience, I'll do this. Share with them exactly what's going to happen, make them part of this process, and like Jeroen said, the fact that Knife and O'Neill were very good partners in this journey enabled him to really create such a great campaign for them. So that's sort of a few words from us for wrapping it up. And Susan, if you have any questions for us.
Yes, actually we do. Thank you, Eilert. There are a couple of questions for you, Jeroen, that really speak to kind of the finances and the payment. One of the attendees was interested in knowing more about, how you get paid. How are your fees structured, especially with an ongoing longer-term program? Is there kind of an upfront cost and then you get paid by each person that comes on board, or is it a monthly fee? If you're able to share, either how you do it or your thoughts about how you would structure that. That was one of the questions, and then after you answer that one, I've got a follow-up.
Okay. Well, I thought I already mentioned it. I was paid for the complete campaign as a upfront. So meaning my time and the time from the concept writer, the copywriter, the photographer, and the designer, etc., etc. That's one part where I get paid. But the other thing is that every 2 weeks I get a database with 40 to 60 addresses, something like records. I'm doing this campaign by the record. So if there's one record, I'm getting paid for one. If there are 20, then it's 20 times a certain amount, but that's for the complete campaign. So every touch point is being paid. My emails, when I send emails out, I'm getting paid. When I send out the direct mail pieces by mail, I'm getting paid for producing and stuffing it into envelopes and the stamps on the piece, because we use a real stamp. Just to show the personal touch for this. So that's all included in the services, and the customer itself doesn't have to do anything and nothing anymore. So we take it out of their hands and we do the communication for them. But they only have to pay for the new records in their database. But
okay.
Of course, we made an assumption before how many records there in a normal year are, and what I see now that it's a little bit growing. So that's good for me. That's good for the business. Yeah,
that ongoing annuity stream that comes in, and I'm sure as they see more and more success.
It's almost like Xerox with annuities, indeed.
Yep.
Like click charges.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Yeah, it's a model. It's a model certainly that works. And then having that upfront, the overall campaign fee to get things started and make sure all the different players are covered. That sounds like a very good way to approach it. The follow-up question was also, and you mentioned the records, and when you think of, how many records can be in a database, when we look at, I think 431 was the number, it seems kind of low, but it sounds like it's a big win for you revenue-wise, because, you've got maybe, a lower number of print volume, but they're highly profitable.
They are. Let me ask a question. how many of you are print service providers, and how many of you are struggling with your click charges, and not from Xerox, but from your customers when they say, well, 5 cents, 6 cents, 10 cents, or whatever per click, and I don't care what the price is, but I think that every customer tries to get a cheap click charge, or cheap. And in this way, it's about communication. It's not about talking about click charges. My customers don't care about this. They care about their communications, and they're not interested if I'm making a 50 cents on a click or a euro on a click. They don't care. And I can tell you this, I'm not the cheapest printer in the Netherlands. I don't want to be the cheapest printer in the Netherlands. I want to be the best marketing service provider in the Netherlands, and even further, if I may say. But
you're expanding globally.
Yes, I'm always confident about myself. But anyway,
nothing wrong.
No, I know. But what I want to say is that when you are into communications with your customer in this way, then it's not about click charges. It's not about pricing. It's about how you handle their communication needs. And if you can show them the real benefits of it, then it doesn't make sense to talk about click charges. Pricing.
Yeah.
They know that professional services are costing money, and that if it's done well, it will be profitable for everybody. So that's what it really is. So it's a good way. It's a good way to step out of the rat race down the drain for print service providers.
Yeah, I think that says it all, right? You're taking your business, beyond that commodity click charge kind of game, and you're really elevating
Indeed.
it to bring results and value to your clients.
Correct. That's what it is. You step out of the commodities.
Yeah. Great. Well, that was actually it for the questions that have been submitted. So at this point, I definitely want to thank you both, Jeroen and Ayelet, for your time today and sharing with us your perspective and your story. I think, Ayelet, on your slide, it talks about, it's about the story, and it's the picture that you can paint. And I want to thank you both for doing that today for those in attendance. And hopefully this is helping them think about their business a little bit differently and the role that print can play for not only their profitability, but what it can do for their clients, as you've done for yours, Jeroen. So just a couple of wrap-up things to remind everybody that the session has been recorded, so you will receive that recording, and feel free to share this with other members of perhaps your professional networks who may also be interested in hearing this best practice that we shared today. Keep an eye out in your email for information about the 2019 series. We're hoping to do one of these sessions at least once a month, and they are open to everyone. We believe that by sharing this information, not only is it a great way for us as a company to shine the light on our customers, such as Jeroen at Jubels, who are doing fantastic work, but it's also just helping to increase the awareness of what's possible with digital and digital communications in today's world. So the more people that are aware and know about that, I think it can benefit the industry as a whole. So, by all means, this is something we welcome participation and attendance from everyone. If you do have any follow-up questions, you're here, thanks. If you have any follow-up questions or comments or topic ideas, we've got 12 months in the new year, so if there's anything in particular that the attendees would like us to focus on, by all means, share those and you can send them to me. So with that, I just want to say a final thank you once again to Jeroen and Ayelet for being with us. Thank you to all of you who have attended. I wish you the very best of the remaining time in December for your businesses, and a happy and safe holiday season with your family. So we'll look forward to being with you in 2019. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.